I'm Candice Gardner, student ID 170237766. This is my reflection for adolescent development and teaching. A couple of the key concepts that we learnt this semester that really resonated with me was firstly from week 1, Robert Epstein idea that adolescence is a cultural product and we should give adolescents the same rights as adults. Mixing that with Sternburn's idea that we have hot and cold cognition and arousal, thinking that if we gave a student the idea and rights of law, would they be able to have a proper arousal effect towards that? My second theory was the biological function, which we learned in Arnett in the textbook, about changing in adult and adolescent bodies. I found that really interesting and resonated with me, as I was a student who did go through changes quite early. The other week that I found quite interesting was week 9, when we did teaching in a digital era. I unfortunately wasn't around when computers were brought in, so I find that very interesting, of learning about how to be a good teacher with internet-based activities in our classrooms. Applying this to a student, I would probably use a grip method if I'm talking to a student that is once again going through high developmental. As for a woman, you start going through menstrual cycles early, your body changes. I would make sure I'd bring in counsellors and teachers, make sure the student is well advised, teaching things like, as we did, learnt in our textbook, and also using government issued things, such as if bullying did occur, I would go to the government website and use their anti-bullying resources to help this student along, and also talk obviously to the other students to make sure no one was left out of that class. And also linking that back to the cognitive arousal, making sure that the student understands fully the abilities of what their body is going through, and making sure that lesson and group plans aren't making that student stand out in front of the crowd. As involved in my English teaching, I would use multimedia, connecting back to the digital age, movies that relate, manga, things that the students are interested in. With books, I would make sure I would relate them to what's going on with their bodies, having characters that are going through the same development, obviously maybe even touching on adult topics, as in Epstein's idea that they can take on adult theory. With the hot and cold arousal, I'll make sure to take on different classes, such as the cognitive group work compared to journal entries, and see the hot and cold cognitive changes when I ask the students the same questions, if they'd answer the same with their classmates as by themselves. Thank you very much. From Candice.